Hi everyone, welcome to the second video of my channel. So for today's video, what I'm doing is I'm showing you how to navigate the VMCAS application and how to write up your application. I had a little issues trying to do a screen share, so I hope it works out and I hope I have audio. If not, I'll just do a dub over it, we'll see. So I hope you guys enjoy it and it actually helps. If anyone has any questions after the video, feel free to send me a message on my YouTube channel or comment below, and I would be more than happy to help. Hello guys, so welcome back to my channel if you are returning. So what I want to highlight today is how to navigate the VMCAS and how to create your application. So this is the main page. If you just Google search VMCAS, which is Veterinary Medical College Application Service, as you can tell right here. This year for 2020, it already opened. Now we're in May, so the cycle originally was starting in May and then continued until September. So what they're doing now is they're opening up in January, and I believe it will also extend until September here. So I suggest if vet school is something that you are looking into and are considering applying to definitely get on top of it. Creating your application sooner rather than later is always more beneficial. That way you have time to edit and tweak and really fine tune. So anyway, you're on when you're on the first page, you can go through like prerequisite charts, and they have all these helpful resources for you. But we are just going to dive right in. So I actually went ahead and restarted my application that I previously applied with this past year. So all of my stuff is on here, but I'm going to go through it with you. So this is what your page would look like. So you have your personal information, which would be like your demographics, your parents, and your personal information. Academic history would be your academic history, so it would have your high school, your colleges attended, and then your transcripts. Most schools have their transcripts go through Clearinghouse, and you do have to pay a fee to get them. I think for me, for Del Val, they were maybe $10 for a transcript for my official transcripts, and $15 for Drexel. I also took some classes at a community college to up my GPA, and I don't even remember how much they were. I also suggest, because you have to manually put in your transcripts, I would suggest getting both your official and unofficial. The unofficial transcripts don't actually count if you're sending them in, so just keep your unofficial for yourself, so then you can, if you need to reapply, then you at least have your academic history on hand. And then just send in your official transcripts. So we're just going to look through this for a hot second. They give you all the directions on how to put them in, and essentially, let's look at this. This is what it looks like. So you would be manually entering in the course code, the course title, and then selecting a subject. It comes in through a drop down, and then you add in your credits and your grades, and you do that for your whole 3 years. And then if you have more than one school, you have to do them for all of them. So that's why I suggest keeping your unofficial transcript on hand. Schools normally allow you to get a an electronic copy sent to you. So I would suggest, again, just having an email to you from bursar's office, or technically I guess it would be the registrar's office. Have it emailed to you and just save it onto your computer and create sort of a file. You would also put in your standardized test scores as well. So let's go back to my application. So that's essentially everything for the academic history. For supporting information, this is the big one. So you have your letters of recommendation. To get a letter of recommendation, what I suggest is talking to your vets or your teachers who have seen you grow and develop. Let's see, who have I done? I have used a few doctors. I had, my first time applying, I used 2 doctors from my first hospital. That the one I was in surgery a lot, and the other one I worked with in rooms a bunch of times. And I really liked them, and they helped me with my basic skills when I was just starting. I used I think 2 professors as well, and I also used a previous employer when I worked in the small animal labs at Del Val. So those were my big recommendation letters that I used. You have a minimum of 3 that you can take, but you can always add more. Most schools only allow 3, so even if you have up to 5 or 6 recommendations, you select your favorite 3 or your best 3. There's also, you have the ability to waive your right to access the recommendation, so you can see what they write, or you can waive it. I have had some doctors actually just hand me the letter, by then which I said, I will send you, you'll get something through VMCAS, through email, which then you can type it up and send it in. But their letters made me cry, and it made me actually feel good. Others, I didn't hear anything, and they just sent it in. So when you put in their information, you can put in a little personal message, such as, thank you for taking the opportunity to write this for me, and whatnot. And for due dates, because the application cycle closes in September, I don't wait up until the wire. I usually gave them until the end of August. So then if there was an error either on VMCAS or my my recommender's part, we had enough time to fix the situation. For experiences, do not be humble. I cannot express this enough. Always, always, always put every little detail that you can. If it's volunteer work, if it's extracurricular activities, do that. If it is veterinary assistant, technology, or veterinary assistant, veterinary technician, or just being a general member of anything, put it in there. No experience is too little. Again, do not be humble in this. My first year, I did not put enough, which is why I think I didn't get more opportunities my first time. Also the same with your achievements. No achievement is too little. So if you have honor societies, put them in. If you have any sort of award, put it in. Just get it done. This year, what is happening because of COVID-19, we have the COVID-19 transcript hardships for students. And even if you aren't affected by COVID-19, if you're watching this a few years later after COVID and you still experience a transcript hardship, such as a professor passing away, or you have family issues or mental health issues, there is still a section for you to add that in. A lot of the applications have the opportunity for you to explain why you weren't your best. And then lastly, we have program materials. So here, we're going to add the programs that we want to apply to. So in this list, we have our accredited schools of veterinary medicine. They are in alphabetical order, and also be on the lookout for the schools that have multiple semesters. So for example, Ross, we have the fall, spring, and summer. For St. George's, also fall and spring. When it comes to those schools, you can only select one application. So I can't apply for both fall and summer for Ross, and I can't apply to both fall and spring for St. George's. So for example, if you do select both, this is what pops up. So it says, for this application, only one program may be selected for each organization. If you select two programs, you will be asked to choose one. And then it just goes into, you've selected this university, would you like to change? So I'm just gonna X that out. Oh, let's see. Can't do that. So let's add in, let's just add in a few different ones. Okay. So we're going to continue. So these are the applications that we have, quote unquote, selected. Again, this is just for learning situations. So our total fees of doing, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 schools would be $700. You can download the application or just complete it on here. So I would just go back to the home page, and then let's just do it in order. So here is where you can see all of the applications that you have chosen to do. You can, of course, change these and take them out and such. So we would have sort of the home page or home tab, which describes the school and their courses and what. And then we have our questions. Some schools have questions available for you to fill out. Others have a whole secondary application. On the home tab, they should have them listed. Some of them do not, so it may take a little bit of digging. And then we also have our prerequisites. So as long as you have your transcripts entered, you will be able to complete this. You cannot send an application through VMCAS if it is not completed. So that means the prerequisite section would be checked off. So to assign a course, it's very self-explanatory. You just select it, and then you select courses that you want to have assigned to it. Again, you have a minimum of 3 credits, so as long as your credits meet up with that, you can do it. So then you just save, and then ta-da, you complete it for all of them. And then as soon as that's completed, then this should be green and checked off, and you'd be good to go. This would also read then 1 out of 5 or 1 out of whatever number of applications that you would be doing this round. There are some pages that don't have questions, and you would just have to look on their website to see if they have a secondary application. Again, I would suggest not only just reading the home page, or the home tab rather, but also looking on their website to make sure that you're not missing anything. With schools like St. George's, we have a Documents tab, and this, they'll tell you what they want, which would be located here. So what, for example, St. George's University wants is a photo, and I believe this would probably be used for your ID. I don't know because I'm not going to St. George's, but I can definitely get that information for you. Tufts University, again, is much of the same that we saw with Michigan State. So you have your home page, and they also have a section on how to apply to Tufts. What I like with this is that they give you step-by-step exactly on what they want. So they want 3 letters of recommendation, a faculty member, a pre-veterinary, pre-medical, or pre-health professional, and a veterinarian or research scientist whom you have considerable experience. There is a secondary application fee. So again, not only would you have to pay the $700 or whatever amount that you would have to towards VMCAS, you would also have the additional application fee that's directed towards the university. You may get an email from them, but again, you may not. So I would just, again, be on the lookout. Let's check out these guys. So this is another international school. Again, we have another documents tab here, and they have here what they require. So academic background form, and then any additional documents. And then they have the link available here. Many of the questions that I have found going into school and going through this process is a lot of them are how you will diversify the field. Whether you do or don't is up to you, but again, I would just look into your strengths and play off of them. So let's look through again. Okay. VMCAS also has some essays for you to fill out. These questions have not changed in my first. These are the same questions that they were in 2017 when I applied. So what I definitely suggest is create a Word document so you can get your word count and you can edit it whenever, and I would save them. I would do the same with the individual applications as well. So what I would do is, okay, so we have a Word document up, and I would literally just copy and paste all of these questions, give you some room, and then just write whatever you think would make a good essay. But again, as you highlight it, you can get then your word count. Make sure you don't exceed the 2,000 character count. And you can again use this with all the other applications as well. So you can do, let's go into program material. Michigan State had questions. So I would select this, copy, paste, and then just create your essay here. What I also did is I would just write in which school it is, and then as soon as I was done that, then I would go back in and I would write University 2 here, whichever one it is, and then put their essay question here. And it may be up to like 7 pages long. Again, quantity does not necessarily mean quality. So even though your essay just reaches the word cap, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's better than someone who hits 50% of the word count. So I hope that really helped everyone at least get an idea on where to start. Honestly, it's been a year since I even looked at this application. So I really hope I helped you guys out. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me or leave a comment below, and I can always edit the video, change it up, or do a part 2, or even just straight up answer your questions. Thank you so much for watching. I know it was a really long video and I covered a lot of content during it. The thing that I cannot stress enough during the application is definitely don't be humble when you're filling out your experiences or your achievements, and make sure you communicate with those people that you want to write letters of recommendation for you. So again, as I said before, and as I said towards the end of the screen shares, reach out if you have questions. I'm an open book and I will always help. Right, guys, I hope you have a good application process.